Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subject channel, and this is Sunday Sermon, the real Sunday Sermon, coming from my heart with the life of God in it. Coming from a person who has been saved and enlightened by the Most High Creator of the universe. This ain't no game, man. This ain't no game. So, this is Sunday Sermon. I won't be before you long. Sometimes the things that I explain, some of them take a little less time than others. So, if you haven't been watching, Chris Rock just finally responded to all of the hoopla and the issue that he had with Will Smith. And he has a stand-up on Netflix called Selective Outrage. And I kind of want to come along that title. Shout out to Chris Rock. Selective outrage is similar to what I talked about maybe a couple weeks ago, if not last week, the Stockholm syndrome. See, it's also the equivalent of riding bandwagons. We're going to get into this today. We're going to talk about things that are mentioned in the Bible that have to do with what Chris Rock calls selective outrage. Let's get into it. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3 says, "For the time will come when they will not tolerate sound doctrine, but wanting to have their ears tickled, they will accumulate for themselves teachers in accordance with their own desires. And they will turn their ears from the truth and will turn aside to myths." The Big Bang Theory is a myth. Now, if you choose to believe it, I'm not going to stand in your way. Y'all already know that the Most High already showed me. Don't convince people. These people got to convince themselves. But what Adam and Eve did in the Garden of Eden should be outrage. Because that was outrageous what they did. They basically caused all of us to have to surrender our minds to this evil spirit that didn't think their original job was good enough. So we should be outraged. And we should do something about it. But a lot of us won't, because of selective outrage. The title of this sermon is Selective Outrage is Gonna Damn Your Soul. A lot of y'all ain't gonna make it because of your selective outrage. You want to jump on bandwagons. People was literally looking for me because I said all lives matter. Black lives matter, but all lives matter. So there was fake pro-blacks who don't even get along with most black people. They were literally looking for me at work. And the problem I got with that is, you trying to come at me at work, you already know I'm limited as to what I could say and do. Because all they would do, and trust me, man, if you hear me talking about any subject, you know I done studied it forwards and backwards. If you hear me asking questions, you know I haven't studied it forward and backwards. Why? Because when I have outrage over something, I at least want to learn about it, want to know about it, but not these people though. These people will go and be in the church of rainbow preachers, will go and be in the church of grifters, liars, guys that the Most High don't even talk to, They just know how to talk. So they got all the trinkets. They got the nice church. They got the car. They got the clothes. And y'all basically listen to them because you judging by outward appearance. Judging by outward appearance is selective outrage. Saying F the police and having that attitude is selective outrage. You should be outraged over the crime in your community. You should be grabbing these little skinny dudes up and dumping them on their head if that's the case. But instead, y'all like Lil Pookie and Ray Ray Jr. Y'all like them, but y'all hate the police. Yes, the police can be selectively outrageous too. Trying to do like people say, and like I've said, they're trying to do the easy stuff. You're trying to pull people over for insurance and brake lights. And that's sometimes those situations spiral out of control. Because in their seek and desire for easy work, it could be a suspect in a murder with that expired license tag. Like, even in this area, like, I don't like I already know racism is selective outrage. Because you basically picking and choosing who you got a problem with, even though that's not even your real enemy. You know, if you smart, you know who your real enemy is. But selective outrage people oftentimes are brainwashed. Jeremiah 23 and I believe, what verse is this? It might be verse 9. It says, the prophet who has a dream may report his dream. But let him who has my word speak my word truthfully. What does straw have in common with grain, declares the Most High? Is not my word like fire, declares the Most High, like a hammer which shatters the rock? See, y'all got selective outrage, so y'all heap to yourself teachers, like the Bible say, having itching ears. You want them to tell you what makes you feel good. You want them to tell you what caters to however you are. That's why people got a problem on YouTube with the Passport Brothers. That's why people got a problem on YouTube with the Manosphere, because the Manosphere teach guys that your life is not about women. The Manosphere teaches guys what the woman's true role is. But the women have selective outrage. They're not outraged over their body count, their high body counts. They're not outraged over all the mistakes they made in life, and neither are these guys. They're outraged that they can't play games on people like they used to. Selective outrage. This is what Chris Rock was talking about with Will Smith. But it's not just Will Smith that has selective outrage. It's the whole entire freaking world has selective outrage. People were sad about 9/11, but they not sad about all the kids that come up missing every day, all the women that come up missing every day, all the stuff that goes on as a result of racism, all the stuff that goes on as a result of the wealth disparity. They not outraged over that. What they do is they play pity pat and they try to play follow the leader with what they gonna be upset about. How could you be so mad at Trump? What did he do to you? But these same people, they not mad at Biden though. Selective outrage. Ever since he was in there, regardless of what my political beliefs are, ever since Biden been in office, Downhill, 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 downhill. Less tax refunds, less this, less that. Inflation, higher gas prices. But y'all not mad at that though. You know why? Because some of y'all ninjas, you think that because you're black, you have to vote for Democrats instead of voting for the person that's going to make things better. And if it ain't no person that's going to make things even a little bit better, you don't vote. Y'all be messing up elections because you're brainwashed and you have selective outrage. All them people posting pictures of Trump. Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that. When Biden messed up and doo-dooed, like literally with his actions and that group, that the Democrats had everything. You can't blame the Republicans. They had the Congress. They had the House. They had the Senate. They was making all the decisions for the United States. So how well are we doing? Y'all got selective outrage, man. I stopped dealing with people like me personally. I don't hold people's political beliefs against. But one reason I stopped dealing with some of these people is because when they was going, Trump and Biden was going for the election, they was going after Trump, going after Trump, going after Trump, but not a single one of them came on Facebook and said, you know, Biden, he done messed up. They got selective outrage. Selective outrage, me personally, if you suffer from that, Stockholm Syndrome and this stuff, I can't really deal with you too much. You go around these people long enough, you're going to get into it. Because they got selective outrage. That's why you can't go to every family gathering no more. You can't go to every barbecue no more because the selective outrage that people have. You got to be careful who you deal with because of it. This is one of the reasons why I don't go to these churches, because they want to teach me a doctrine that the Most High ain't teaching me. And it's like I went to a funeral yesterday and it was a good, it was a good sermon, but he didn't have the scripture. He didn't really, like, I know people say, well, that's not the time. You're right. But you should give them some scriptures to make them think about this thing called life. He was just giving them his own perspective. Is not the word like a hammer that breaks the rock into pieces? People should be in an uproar, an outrage that they gotta die and possibly go to hell because of Adam and Eve, but they not. You know what they do? Instead, they say, well, I'm not gonna believe anything in the Bible. Or they try to use the one who they named Jesus as their shield. And that's what he mean. Now, I'm not going to destroy your faith. But that's what he mean by they turn aside to myths. Everything about Jesus ain't no myth. That's just not his name. But some of those doctrines are myths. It's for, I'm not going to destroy your faith. It's for you. Hey, listen, this is your beliefs. But y'all got selective outrage. Let me break this down a little more. People in the church, you still a 304. You just go to church now. But yet, you look at what gay people do, and you're a woman who had a high body count and is steady going up, and you in the church claiming to be saved. How's your body count going up? You supposed to be fighting a husband, and that be the end of your body count. You know why it's going up? Because you think that you can use the grace that you read in the Bible as a cover up for your sins. Selective outrage. Turning aside to myths. You know how I can prove it? Because the Bible says that you shall be judged according to your works. The Bible says that he'll remove your candlestick from his place. And I kept my old channel up where I used to believe this stuff too. My beliefs have changed in terms of God and how he's going to judge and how he views the things that I do on the regular, you do on the regular. Let's go to, and I'm going to wrap this up in 10 minutes or less. I want to go to Revelation chapter 21. I want to show you something. All y'all dudes out there half dealing with your kids because you always trying to witness, you missing the mark. You missing the mark. The most important souls for you are them ones in your house. You ain't even supposed to be trying to convince these people. You casting your pearls before swine. You supposed to let your light shine in darkness. When they try to tell you what sin is and what it ain't, you supposed to know and be like, they ain't got nothing to do with none of this. People turning aside to myths. They think God will send you to hell for eating a BLT. The bacon is delicious. Yes, sir. And I just had me a sausage McMuffin. Turning aside the myths. God gonna send you to hell for eating pork. Did he send Noah to hell for it? Noah ate everything. He just wasn't alive, didn't have the blood in it. So what about you, while y'all talking, what about you preachers that eat medium rare steak? You got selective outrage, buddy. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21. What about you preachers who celebrate Christmas? Selective outrage. Yeah, I know I need the NASB version. I'm going to show you what I mean. Chapter 21. It says, Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth passed away, and there is no longer any sea. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is among the people, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself will be among them. And he will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will no longer be any death. Is there death now? Is there death right now? You got selective outrage. There will no longer be any mourning or crying or pain. The first things have passed away. A lot of y'all got selective outrage. You don't even want this kingdom. Half of y'all don't believe it is a such thing. You got selective outrage. Because if you trying to say there is no God, but yet you get mad over anything in this earth, that's selective outrage. Because the main thing you should be mad at is the fact that you even gonna die. So, verse 5 says, And he who sits on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. And he said, Write, for these words are faithful and true. Then he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give water to the one who thirsts from the spring of the water of life without cost. The one who overcomes will inherit all these things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. Now, how do you overcome? The Bible teaches by enduring to the end. The Bible teaches by being steadfast. The Bible shows us how we overcome. It says, the one who overcomes will inherit these things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. But for the cowardly and unbelieving and abominable and murderers, and sexually immoral persons, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars. Keep that in context. Keep it in context. You know how I can say you got to keep it in context? Because Abraham lied. And Abraham was seen with Lazarus in his chest. So it's mainly talking about certain types of lies, obviously. Their part will be in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. I could sum all of that up by saying the selectively outrageous people will burn in the lake of fire. Because the outrage, like I said, that you should be outraged about is the fact that somebody else caused you to be separated from the Most High God. Instead of that, people want to come up with all this new stuff and all these reasons not to believe and trying to argue, trying to sound intelligent out of racism sometimes. Y'all come on there, y'all see I'm black, y'all think I shouldn't be talking. So you want to argue with me about stuff you don't even know about. You want to say stuff is false, but you can't prove it's false. This is what people do. You, out of your selective outrage, want to insult me and others on YouTube over things that you don't agree with them about. Like black people who still worried about white supremacy, but yet you ain't outraged over the other black people who share in the same suffrages as you do based on racism, and because of racism, destroying your neighborhood. You ain't doing nothing about them. You just worried about what the police is doing. What we talking about on YouTube. Who a coon and who ain't, and you obviously haven't studied the raccoon species. Because if you did, you would know that them people mostly that you calling COONs are the total opposite. They don't live like savages. They don't live like animals. They got nice homes. They educated. They don't commit crimes. You don't know what a COON is. You just regurgitating information from people who might possibly be grifting on you. Just possibly. It said that is the second death. You should be outraged that it's even possible for you to experience the second death. Instead, people walking around worried about, I could care less who's racist. I could care less who's rainbow. I don't care. I don't care. I go by how people treat me. You gonna stand before God for yourself. I'ma stand for myself. Y'all worried about everything else. Selective outrage. You ain't worried about these people coming over here in the same country that you were born in, that your ancestors were slaves in, taking money and sending it back to their countries, who none of which experienced slavery at any time. But y'all talking about, you know where you is? To other blacks that walk through your neighborhood. And you got 3 businesses with foreigners all in your neighborhood. You ain't trying to open no businesses and compete with them. Instead, you got on money phones that you getting exploiting people who are weak and broken down. You got selective outrage. Right here in Milwaukee, you can't even find out who got killed anymore. Because they won't even put it on the homicide tracker. Y'all keep electing these people who ain't gonna do nothing. They just talking. But you got selective outrage though. You trying to argue at work over Black Lives Matter, and look how much money they ran with for their own personal gains. But yet you want to know who voted for Trump. You want to know who's saying all lives matter. Man, you ain't tough. Who you think you is? To me, that's weak as I don't know what for you to say this stuff to people at work. Like, I have literally seen people trying to charge people up on the job. If you want to charge somebody up, why don't you wait till y'all not at work? And then people will egg them situations on. Man, this dude didn't do nothing. He tried to charge somebody up on the job who have more responsibilities that they thinking about. I remember one particular time, I literally walked out with the guy. He ain't say nothing else. But yet, every time somebody brought up that weak situation, he was just egging it on like he was tough. There's so many job morants in the workplace, it is crazy. You should be worried about getting your money. You trying to be a thug. You trying to be a thug at work. And at least John Morant now finally sees that he about to give up something that most people never in their lifetime can get. But there's still other people that you can't even work with them. They just try to act like they so much of a thug, man. You be thinking like, man, go sit down somewhere, man. And you definitely see that in the jails. Oh my goodness. Jails pay pretty decent in comparison to other jobs. But one of the main reasons why people like me and others don't like working in those type of environment is because of selective outrage. Coworkers is too worried about what they coworkers do and how they doing their job to get the message across that need to be got across to your fellow citizens about their behavior. They ain't gonna do that though. Oh, you know what they gonna do? Well, most of them, man, he ain't have to do that. And it'll be your own coworkers going against you. Man, that dude, man, you already know he crazy. I don't F with dude. Who cares who you F with? Who are you? You're not God. You can't put me. I don't have outrage towards you because you don't judge me. When I have a problem that's unsolved, I go to him. I don't go to you. So why would I care who you F with and who you don't? Who is you? Same with y'all YouTubers. Who cares, man? Nobody cares. I don't care about your stringy hair. I don't care about how often you shave your head or your beard. I don't care what cars you drive. Who are you? You're not God. I don't have no outrage towards you because the things that I need, you ain't gonna provide them. Y'all can't even have another YouTuber's name in your mouth. Dude, this crazy, man. You crazy. Now listen. People call me crazy. But I'm gonna tell you, I ain't the one that is. These people, man, selective outrage. Some of them will get so mad when you even say the word grifter because they know, some of them, that it's true. That they really don't care about these people. That if they wasn't getting paid ad revenue, they wouldn't be on YouTube every day. It's people who make YouTube videos that don't get paid. We would not see y'all as much if y'all wasn't getting them monthly checks. Stop it. Just stop it. Walking around like you the answer for men. You don't care about nobody but yourself. Talking about who could talk about what. Man, if you don't get out of here, man, you act like a female. Anybody could talk about whatever they want. Some of y'all dudes be acting like female. And I know y'all trolling. You definitely a female. You trolling people's accounts. Go on your real account. You got something negative to say to me? Go on your real account. Make a video about me. These people be mad. They think I don't know that it's some of y'all with 10,000 subs, 20,000 subs, 50,000 subs, 100,000 subs, maybe even 1 million subs. Y'all think I don't know? I hear y'all using words that I came up with. I know you watching my videos, man. You think I don't know? Selective outrage. This is the truth, man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in. We'll be back Tuesday. With more videos. So stay tuned.